Kijana kuchio akini bali kankoyo gene yalla kini jirani no godawlen miyan yakmbasan ikini na de biat yalla kini jirani yakini bojani yakini bali kankoyo yalla kini jibucho kini na ra ko iya kon ka bojindo nya wulone kano bora ikini na ikini ro ana gona gondembiko uso ye jani gwa bena na tele chusana gwa tamani na gwe du porno me bio bole wala me bio bole wakando wole ke mo ni mo wala ne ga hibio tsina nge gwa para gana bia tsena me usuna na kino pombon kamanga ha anyani bi.
Esta ha sido la realidad de James y la de más de 7.750 niños y niñas soldado y sus familias, algunos de tan solo 6 años. Todos ellos, según la ONU, fueron utilizados por grupos no estatales. Y estos son solo los datos que se han podido verificar, pero hay muchos más. Los grupos de monitoreo de derechos humanos estiman que puede haber hasta 300.000 niños y niñas todavía víctimas del reclutamiento. Es muy difícil conocer el número total, pero lo que sí se sabe es que todavía 46 países reclutan a niños y niñas menores de 18 años y en la actualidad se utilizan en al menos 18 conflictos en todo el mundo. El actor de Juego de Tronos, Jerome Flynn, estuvo en Sudán del Sur y en Myanmar con la ONG WORLD VISION, escuchando el testimonio de niños y niñas que cambiaron los libros por armas, su casa por el campo de batalla y su infancia por la guerra.
Ananda ni kadayo ngaka chiguna nganga ndikolo kombangu nyambodo gwa pangu na nganga ya taboro kimimya boro una dina joboro gene boya da kanyamanga ya ogungo kuroni ni ya ondo kanko joga bo ikifikina ngwa afrika mimi bor kama imongo ni nini.
They're so beautiful, just children, and so it's very hard to deal with that, you know, for them to deal with that in their lives at that age, to be treated with such when all they should be getting is love, and that's the opposite.
Desde luego es impactante conocer a niños que han vivido esta pesadilla. Por eso, cada año, el 12 de febrero, se celebra el Día Internacional contra el Uso de Niños Soldado para dar visibilidad y para generar conciencia en torno al problema. También para poner en marcha mecanismos internacionales que ayuden a solucionarlo y dar voz a los miles de niños y niñas que sufren esta pesadilla.
Akini fojene kini kama boro ani akija kinani kinilia ena kidarani ke kijuruni ngolu kana boro okuni kina boro yolo ke karachon ke kisungu penya fele mina boro mina gunde patole kaya mina boro ni abe chenga mikego kadano aboro ingara ne kasoga inga omyanga koyo.
Los niños y niñas no deciden entrar en un grupo armado de forma voluntaria, normalmente son obligados por la fuerza, pero otras veces la situación que les empuja o coacciona a unirse a un grupo armado es la pobreza, la escasez de alimentos y la falta de medios de vida. Y una vez más, la COVID-19 ha potenciado las causas que subyacen a este problema mundial. Además, los bloqueos y aislamientos a los que ha obligado la pandemia han contribuido a reducir el acceso humanitario y esto ha complicado aún más las negociaciones para acabar con esta práctica. Vamos a hablar con Angelo Matú, que es un ex niño soldado de Sudán del Sur, y su historia representa el desgarrador viaje que los niños perdidos del país realizaron para buscar un futuro mejor. Y él lo tiene. Ahora es trabajador de World Vision y especialista en construcción de paz. Bienvenido, Angelo. Thank you very much for staying here with us. First of all, would you like to tell us your story as a child soldier?
I went for a military training when I was aged around 7 or 8. And then we could not be graduated. We wait again, then we did another training. So this is 1990s, that when I joined the military training, and we live as soldiers for many years. And we have to walk in the forest. There was no shoes. We have to walk barefooted. It took us 3 months of walk and cold. Some of the boys, they did not make the trip. Some people died on the way. We were picking many children along the way because some of the children were tricked. They say, we are going to a short distance here and that you will just come back after a few days. We did not know it was going to be very long. We thought guns were very cool. We wanted some guns so we can take it. There were 1,000 of us. There were around 26 to 30,000 boys, mostly boys. They later called us the Lost Boys.
Angelo, what were your feelings at that time as a child, as a soldier child?
Okay, I think the first thing is that you are frightened. I was very frightened. But because I have seen atrocities of war, I really wanted to fight. The way it started with us, Olga, was that some of us chose voluntarily to join the army. We were trying to join. But later on, because the war was too expensive, people were dying, and there were not enough soldiers. Now children were conscripted. So was frightening. At first we were angry, but later on, you find the anger is going away and you are more sorry for yourself, but you just keep moving anyway.
I can imagine it has been so hard for you, Angelo. But please tell me what NGOs like World Vision, where you are working, are doing to help people.
Okay, the first thing is malnutrition. Usually in a place where there's war, people's livelihood are disrupted. You cannot wake up early, you go to the farm because you are afraid that somebody can kill you on the way. The first thing is to give people something to eat, the very essential of life, like water or food or a place to sleep. You give them like a plastic sheet so they can put it above their head to somewhere to sleep from the cold. So it boiled down to those things, like World Vision is doing right now.
And Angelo, I'd like to know, what is your life like now? How do you help former child soldiers? And what is your job at World Vision like?
You try to be role model to others, to tell them when there's a big problem that happened to you, Olga, is try to look for somebody else to whom the same problem has happened in the past. And then you compare yourself and say, yes, this is not the first problem. I can also, you can manage. That is the way you can survive, okay? To say yes. Children, young girls, I talk to them. I say, I left my mom when I was around 7, 8. Then I came back 20 years later. I did not see my mom from 1987 to 2007. That was 20 years. And I later came to see my mom. My mom thought I would have already long time ago, but I came back alive. So I tell young girls that I have gone through it. I have gone through war, but just be strong, okay? You can make it. Do not lose heart. I have gone through, so I can understand from my own experience, and I can tell them from my own experience. I tell them the stories. We went through it, so that they will know that, yes, these things happen around the world. And it gives hope. People identify with you. If your story is similar to mine, Olga, you will feel to be oneness.
Thank you, Angelo. You are an example. It's worth of admiration how you have overcome that difficult part of your life and how you help others to get it. Thank you very much, Angelo, for telling us your story.
Thank you, Olga.
Bye. Increíble el testimonio de Angelo, que nos da esperanza, pero que también nos hace pensar en las dificultades extra a las que se enfrentan las niñas. A raíz de la pandemia se ha visto un aumento drástico del matrimonio forzado y precoz de niñas, incluido el matrimonio forzado en grupos armados.
chocolate algu de chocolate de cap canta bagal tamade ramulaide bidugita laladi.
Stella fue capturada cuando tenía 7 años. Estaba en el jardín con su tío y vio cómo le mataban para poder llevársela.
I have to say it. They start chopping with his hand. They just chop him into pieces.
Durante un año estuvo cuidando de 3 hijos de un jefe de los rebeldes hasta que finalmente pudo escapar.
I normally carry one child when I'm moving, and with that shoe, you just move like that. They don't care whether you're tired or not. Because when you said you're tired, they say maybe you want to rest, and the only way is to kill you.
La ONG WORLD VISION la ayudó a superarlo y hoy es una mujer con un oficio, con un niño de 3 años y también con muchos sueños por cumplir. Como veis, se trata de una problemática muy compleja que incluso nos es difícil comprender desde nuestra perspectiva, pero hay esperanza. La ONG WORLD VISION lleva años comprometida con la prevención del reclutamiento de niños y niñas y su reinserción. ¿Y qué están haciendo? Pues están haciendo muchas cosas, os las voy a contar. Por ejemplo, abogan por el respeto de los derechos del niño y el cumplimiento del derecho internacional. También implementan un programa de prevención y protección infantil en entornos humanitarios en conflicto. Piden que se incluya la protección infantil y la participación infantil segura en los procesos de paz. También ofrecen servicios de reintegración infantil holísticos y sensibles al género, que incluyen protección infantil y gestión de casos de violencia de género, atención médica, salud mental y apoyo psicosocial. Y también ayudan a que los niños puedan volver a la escuela con una educación que sea apropiada para su edad, su género y sus circunstancias. Y también ayudan en la reintegración social para que los niños soldados puedan reconectar con sus familias, compañeros y comunidad y así reconstruir la confianza y luchar contra el estigma. Y para explicarnos un poco su experiencia sobre el terreno tenemos con nosotros a Betty Adong, es trabajadora de WORLD VISION y está especializada en violencia contra la infancia. Betty, and tell us about the problems specifically related to girls.
I witness what is happening in my country right now in South Sudan. For example, the most pressing issue we have right now is the issue of a forced and early marriage. You find because of the poverty level, because of a situation of the COVID, that people no longer afford what they need. You find most girls have already been given up in marriage. Most parents give their girls in marriage so that they can be able to sustain their living. She has to cook, she has to fetch water, she has to do so many things that at the end of the day, she does not have even time to study. So when she fails, they will say, you're really a very dumb girl, you're very stupid, you don't know what you're doing. So all this discourage young girls from even continuing with their studies. Then also we have this aspect of recruitment of child soldiers. Here in South Sudan is really different. Also you find both boys and girls participate in this. So you find girls are really forcefully recruited into this armed conflict to go and also practice their roles, to go and be as the wives to the commanders, to go and do other activities. So girls right now, for example, when you're going to fetch water, you're being abducted, you're being taken away.
Betty, thank you very much for telling us your story. I think you're inspiring for other girls to keep increasing every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Personas como Betty hacen posible que niños heridos física y emocionalmente puedan salir adelante.
Taban monja basata galta der training tamakana walta der jafi school. Aksenana bura fichindoka sanana bamu training na kan bigana tala na biga gike tugumasata na giligo gurus ana bjana en warajana tayala na brijam bidafana fi school no gurus side.
ودلنا chance كبير في حياتنا أنا بقدر أعمل حاجات بدون فن وأنا بقدر سبورت حياتنا ولكن في عيال كمان لسه برا هنا أمون كمان أمون لسه قصة الزعل كان عنا أول فوق لكن هسه غير كمان كده سايدهم
Estamos hablando probablemente de los niños y niñas más vulnerables del mundo. Todos tenemos la obligación moral de ayudarles, de hacerles sentir que no estarán desprotegidos nunca más. Debemos ofrecerles un futuro lleno de oportunidades y de esperanza.
Nagupa ni apenga ko bunjiro ni banga chirani